Sorry, 1 minute.
No problem.
இல்லாட்டி நான் போக வேண்டியது இருக்கு. உங்களோட கால் டிக்கெட்டுக்கு லாகின் பண்ணி கொடுக்கணும். தேங்க்யூ. No, that's enough.
Karthik, you have to go. You will rest for the prayer, please.
No, but I do respect your
Okay, ready?
Yes.
I'm going to repeat for Right, okay. I pray and assure. My parents, my teachers, myself, and to God, that whatever I learn in this session will be put into practice immediately. I understand and I realize that this training is not only for my school and college life, but also for my entire life. The tools, techniques, therapies, and ideas that I receive will be utilized towards and throughout the journey of my life. I will remain as a good student, as a good child, and most importantly, as a good, courageous, and disciplined citizen of India. Might is my right. I fight my fight. I can. Because I believe I can. It's not over until I win. It is never a sad day. It's always character building. I promise. Okay, Karthik free out again. Prabhati ni share hoga ko.
இல்ல உட்கார்ந்து நான் தான் பேசணும். வேணாம்.
ஐயா.
இடம் தனியா. ஆமா.
ரெண்டு உட்கார்ந்து கேமரா வந்து. நீங்க ரெண்டு ஷேர் அந்த போ. இல்ல நான் இங்க உட்கார்ந்து. நீ சென்டரா பண்ற. பரவாயில்லை. இது Right, so that's good. Okay, so today is November 18th, 2020, and I would like to first of all put my warm regards to welcome my brother. Fortunately, Karthik used to come for a very short stint of time for the vacation. And this time, fortunately, he's staying for a longer time, so I was able to grab this time for this particular session. He got exposed to the sports just already, but over here, this is the first time. This particular hall is very familiar for both of us because myself, Karthik, Kings and Sadik, we will speak about both of them later. We used to spend a lot of time here, so it's a very emotional and sentimental place for us. So it's been a very long time since the Meet the Night series has been done. This morning, when the sports festival got cancelled, we both were spending time together and instantaneously we both decided on a mutual basis that this session has to happen. So to speak about Karthik, more than my elder brother, I have spent a lot of time with him only, and he's been a very good friend. He knows a lot of secrets about me, and he knows plenty of the hardships that our family went through, and we know about the hardships that their family went through, and all that. On a professional note, I have very many things that I admire in Karthik. The animation that he has, the animation skills that he has. He has made a movie by having me. He has made a movie by having Pranav, and he's a very good, passionate photographer. There are plenty of other multi-facets that he is involved into. He's a very active YouTuber now. There is a YouTube channel called as Karthik'sShow. You must watch that. More than subscribing my video channel, you have to subscribe because there, right from Bermuda Triangle till what is the difference between ICC syllabus and the CBSE syllabus, he has spoken, and his videos are crystal clear. No video goes beyond 8 minutes or 9 minutes. So that is why I am saying this. So it's about 8 minutes or 10 minutes short videos, very informative, very informative. There are other big data na inna abingiradha patti ungalukku therinjirukkum, but I have learned what is big data actually only through Karthik's YouTube video. It's very informational, so you have to watch that. So plenty of things to speak about Karthik, but Karthik is not having very much big time. He has work from home schedules and meetings. So I would like to first of all welcome Karthik for this. So I'm leaving the floor. Karthik wants to stand up and speak first. He will be asking questions to you. It will be interactive session, and then you shall ask questions to Karthik.
Thank you, Manikandan sir. I always used to call him Stone Cold. I don't know how many of you have watched it maybe from the beginning. Used to, not now. So he calls me Rock. Nowhere related, but he is more related to Stone Cold. So we used to call each other. Okay, jokes apart. Okay, getting into the session. No, I don't want to make it as a session. Let's make it as an interactive talk, okay? Why I wanted to ask questions first to you guys is like understand
You can remove your mask.
Because without knowing how I'm speaking, right? If you guys see that. Good. So, what are you guys interested in? Because what I thought of talking is about technology. Like since I worked in software for 14 years now, so I thought of talking in that perspective, and we can even talk about other things, any general knowledge stuff, any questions you just have. Like Sir said, I have little concepts of big data. If you guys already aware of big data, I wanted to know practically what exactly it is. I can talk and anything. Just I wanted to hear from you guys what questions you guys have, or you guys have already prepared some questions. Anything that you can shoot now? Yeah, let's start with that.
They always have some questions on the hot stove, Karthik.
Yes.
People like Dakshin, Mitra, Vedavarshan, Nagulan, and Brinda, Kirtana, they always have a lot of questions too. So you can have no restrictions to ask questions. We both were having a little bit of a discussion that how these teens and pre-teens are exposed to technology these days. Right from using a smartphone till using AirPods, you people are exposed. So you can ask questions about technology first, something that you would like to know, and then you can get into personal. Maybe I would be really happy if you are asking a question why he is so much interested in photography, why he is so much interested in spending about 40,000-45,000 and buying a lens and camera and setting a tripod with the kind of gamut of work that he has. Why is his mind diverting towards it? Ibn Ramari, you can channelize your questions. I'm just giving a sample. You can ask. எங்கள் அண்ணனோட சீரீஸில் பண்ணீங்கல்ல மீட் நைட்டில் அதே தான் சிம்பிள். தட்ஸ் எல்டர் பிரதர், திஸ் இஸ் யங்கர் பிரதர். ஒரு வித்தியாசம். கவின் கார்த்திக் மியூட் யுவர் மைக். நான் கூட நினச்சேன் என்னடா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின் அவங்க கேட்குறானே ஆச்சு. I would like to start with a question and then people will start off. Karthik, my question is very simple. What difference do you see between the technologically blessed kids, the millennials, and what difference do you see between that millennials, right from the most senior most person is Keetana here, Balaji. After Balaji, the second senior most person is Keetana. Balaji is in the final year UG.
Okay.
And she is in the 11th and he and Hariran are in the 10th standard. So what difference do you see between a 10th standard Darshan Siddharth and a 10th standard Karthikeyan Natarajan way back in the past? What difference do you see?
To answer the question, the topic, technology, that's the main difference I see. You guys have a lot of exposure. You feel comfortable when I speak in English, or how do you guys want? You wanted to English is fine, right? Okay. Technology means like the exposure to technology. There's always the pros and cons, right? We had more of physical activity, now it's more of virtual activity. And I mean virtual is like visual games, but earlier it used to be physical. So physically that's a difference. And then earlier when I had to research a new topic, I had no options other than relying on some textbooks which are limited by the textbook that prescribed by our schools. When I studied, we never had schools like CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, like matriculations and government state boards. That's all. I studied in matriculations, we have a bit of books, but now you have Google, right? You have lots of exposure to books. You have video tutorial on YouTube. You have amples of lots of videos, sessions, tutorials, and you have Udemy. So you guys can learn whatever you want. You are not restricted to learn with the limited subjects. That's a lot of difference. And even the exam systems are getting changed. Earlier it used to be more book oriented. Now they are trying to change to more practical oriented. If at least not in the way they teach, but the papers and the curriculum. That's why you guys would have seen so many changes in your curriculum happening recently. It's because they wanted to bring their teaching in a practical way. That's a difference which when I studied, when I was in 10th and 11th, 12th, I didn't have exposure to all those stuff. You guys have a lot of exposure. Those are good things. Bad things, sometimes that makes you like to stay alone. But this is a good environment. You guys meet up with different people from different age, different a lot of interest. So that's a good way to mingle. But in cities, we don't have much options like this. Even with this COVID problem, it's all more virtual. So you tend to stay at home, you limit your physical activity. Sports Zest, that's a great initiative that makes you run in the morning. Then you guys have the complement, right? So that's the difference. And that's what is lacking in majority of the kids now, but you guys are fortunate enough, you guys are not that level. You have something to physically interact, to talk to people and then learn. This kind of learning I never had in my 10th or even in college. I never had this kind of sessions which you guys, I have seen sessions going for physics class, chemistry class, maths class. No, nothing like this. This is totally a different thing which I see. I really want to appreciate that because this is more important and equally important, sometimes I would say even more important than your academic studies. Academic studies, see, when I studied, I had a set of subjects and I went into the UG which I studied in mechatronics. I don't know how many of you know that. That's what I did. But what I work now is completely irrelevant with what I studied. Actually, I got an arrear in one subject in my college days, which is database management system. Okay, I didn't have arrear in any other subject. Now I am 12 years experience in database. Okay, I am working in a subject in a stream which I was worst during my college days.
Mechatronics is a combination of mechanical engineering and electronics.
Robotics basically. I was studied in robotics but went into software, and now my stream is in a field where I got an arrear in my college days. So what I meant to say is like what we study is different from what we work, but what you guys study now will be a practical implementation throughout your life. That's what you will use definitely use whatever you study here, interact here, talk, speak with people, how do your body language, what's a mannerism that you will take with you, always with you till the end of your career. I would say that's a great. So this is ideal. And you are fortunate, more fortunate. You are getting this from right from this.
He's
Third.
tell him which standard you
Which
are.
standard you are in? Third, very good. You are much better than them because they are like 11th and 10th. You got into this like 10th and 8th. 2 years.
Karthika, Vishnupriya, Brinda, இவங்கெல்லாம் on an average ஒரு 8 அப்படின்ற மாதிரி உள்ள வசனம்.
You are from
அவர்
10th
third
standard.
year.
You are the youngest.
He is the most youngest.
Good. When you come to their age, right, you will be top of all communications, all those stuff. Now you might be listening like, oh, what is he speaking? But you will get to know other results.
Okay. So Hariharan has raised the hand for he wants to ask you.
Please, yes.
That when it is a personal அப்படின்னா bilingual conversation it will be more.
Okay, fine. Okay, good.
What's your question?
About photography. I think when I think photography, I will be thinking in the forest, the birds sound and walking and taking stills of the birds. Like that, you think as a photography, what did you see in the mind?
Okay, photography is like digital painting. Okay, you take a paper, you imagine something and you draw. Sometimes you see something and you draw, you turn up into something else which you call as a, what do you call, modern painting. Right? So photography is a digital painting. You imagine something. See, if I wanted to shoot this sky, okay, what I imagine is like I want a full moon in this direction and I don't want these wires and all that stuff there. So I imagine a picture in my mind which is relevant to what I see here and I wait for the moment. Okay, I wait for the full moon day and wait for the moment when the moon comes here and wait for the moment when there is no clouds and then shoot a picture and you have some editing where you change, remove all these wires and you bring up a photo. Because you imagine something and you digital makeup of that with real thing. That's what photography is. Anything, it can be anything. May not be photo. Whatever you say is a wildlife photography. When you take photos of street, it's called street photography. When you take a photo of persons, it's portrait photography. And fashion photography is there. And then food photography is there. You have seen in China, food photography of pizza, burger.
He is more interested in that.
Yeah, food photography is there. And abstract photography is there. Building photography is there. I mean, every categories of photography is there. It's not just, I mean, whatever you said is also there, but that's not the limit. It's everything.
What you were asking Hariharan is wildlife photography. Karthik is a wildlife photographer. Yana enna vechu edutana wildlife photographer.
So it's about a painting, digital painting, as simple. Yeah, that's how it is. You can make changes to that. It need not be like, it should look the same. And perspective, right? Where you can take a photo in this angle or you can go down and take in this angle. So with the perspective, same object might look in a different way. So that's all your creativity you put in.
So first of all, I appreciate you for asking the first question.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Vedavarsan, this is Hariharan grade 10 in BVM school. This is Vedavarsan.
Yes, sir.
That's where Karthi also studied. Alma mater, right. So this is Vedavarsan. Previously in the kindergarten school, very special, and then Shanti, and then now in Vidyodaya, 9th grade. Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. So my question is, how is your childhood age is different from our childhood age?
Means like the new study.
Yeah. Then when you are in our age, sir, how is it different from your age and our age, sir? Childhood age.
Right, like I said earlier, it all like, see, I'll put it in a typical way, a day in life of me when I was youth. Okay? Just morning I'll just wake up and then get ready, school at 9 o'clock, and then till 4 o'clock I don't go to tuition. So straight away I come back here, and then there used to be no buildings here. It used to be a pakka ground. So master will be there. We'll go play till 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and then come back home, write some homework. And then watch TV, dinner, sleep. That's used to be the routine. No extra classes, nothing. And I don't want to spoil you guys, but that's how I was. But you guys, right, it's different when you guys are, you have a schedule after, even in this COVID situation, you have classes online. If there was a COVID at that time, my time, I wouldn't have anything to read. Like, sit at home. What is that? The internet? No way. We didn't have this kind of internet facility, no technology. See, it's all revolves around technology since you. That's why you guys are still able to continue your education even in this pandemic situation. So that's a major difference. You guys have these kind of things around you, but I didn't have it. I would have loved the pandemic at that time.
Kiran, so you wanted to go after Varshan's question, so you can question. So Karthik, that is Kiran Nandita, the cousin of Dakshin Siddharth. She's in the US, Texas, and she's attending. Yes, Kiran, you can go now.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, you said before that technology was an opportunity for kids in this generation, sir.
Yeah.
But younger children are now, like children that are 10 or 11, they're getting phones now and they're getting spoiled by getting phones, sir. So, would you think that's an opportunity, sir, or would you think that's a bad experience that the kids are going through now, sir?
It's like, how you use the thing, that it depends on that. We have a fire at home, we can use it for cooking. If you don't use it properly, it will burn the house, right? So you can take it that way. These technology are boon when it is limited and used properly, and if it's not used properly, it might spoil. That's how it is. I mean, everything has a pros and cons. What you take is how it will shape you. For kids, technically there are so much of restrictions, and because if you are 11 or 12 and you create your Gmail ID, you will have a lot of restrictions when you put your age. So they are trying their best not to spoil the kids with the availability of technology around them. There's lots of parental control, technical stuff, even internet Wi-Fi can be controlled with parental guidance. So if the elders who are supporting their kids are aware of all these things, the kids will not get spoiled.
Adding to Kiran's question, when a person becomes 13, 14, so Google naturally does not give too much parent controls when the person goes to 13, 14. And we were actually speaking about that access to the movies in Prime, Netflix and all that. How do you think a person can bring self-control in terms of watching movies, in terms of getting inundated into the programs? Because a person has got a phone on the table and the class is going on. The person has got a phone under the table and the person is watching a movie. So, generally speaking. So, how do you think a person, a teenager, can bring self-control on those aspects?
Okay. It's, see, there's a phase in everybody's life where you guys don't listen to others and you guys try to put that, and I want to feel that, I want to learn myself. That's one way it is good, because you guys learn from what you do and what you get out of it. But if you hear people who have crossed that age and if you believe them, then you will have even an easier path to cross those stages. So one thing, self-control is important. See, I can tell you an example. Okay, even we have the problem. When we work, okay, even now when I work, I tend to not keep my phone on the desk. Okay, because I get a notification, I tend to see that, which will spoil my work. So I detoxify myself from those kind of work. So even my age, I'm doing that, right? So you guys also have to have some rules with you that I will not keep my phone on the table when I do my studies. No, don't have the phones. Keep it away. Finish your work and then you can see that. So that you can avoid the screen time, which will tend you to avoid the stuff which you would have seen at those times. அந்த நேரத்தில் நீங்க என்ன பார்க்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களோ அதை தவிர்க்கிறதுக்கு அது உதவும். நீங்க கிளாஸ்ல உட்கார்ந்திருக்கும் போது அதை வந்து டைவர்ட் ஆகாம இருக்கிறதுக்கு அந்த மாதிரி சின்ன சின்ன விஷயங்களா தான் தெரியும். When you accumulate it, எல்லாம் ஒண்ணா சேர்ந்து வரும்போது it will help you guys to spend your time properly. அந்த மொமெண்ட்ல நம்ம என்ன பண்றோமோ அதை கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணணும் விட்டுவோம். அதெல்லாம் வந்து being the present னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அந்த டெக்னாலஜி கேட்ஜெட்ஸ்லாம் வந்து it will not let you talking about Prime, Netflix and all those stuff. They see அவங்களுக்கு வந்து how much ever you guys watch, it's profit for them. It's business. So இப்போ நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா பிரைம்ல ஒரு மூவி முடியும் போதே அடுத்தது why don't you watch this movie அப்படி இன்னொன்று வந்துடும். நீங்க ஒண்ணுமே பண்ண வேண்டாம், கொஞ்ச நேரம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அதுல அடுத்த மூவி போயிடும். You need not even click a button. Even they are trying you guys not even to click a button. If you don't do anything, watch it. It will take you to the next movie. Automatically play the movie. Even in YouTube, you have autoplay. What I'm saying is, business are doing their business, and your business is not that. It's just for entertainment. Have your limit with screen time. Have your own schedule. Like you have periods in your classes, have schedule in your work. This is my time I watch movie. This is the time I learn. The time I do physical activity. That discipline is more important. Discipline is not like restricting yourself. It is time management and self-control, like what Sir said. உங்களுக்குள்ள இருந்தது வரணும். உங்களுக்கு நீங்க என்ன ஆகணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களோ அதுக்கு வந்து இந்த மூவி எல்லாம் பார்த்தா என்ன ஆகறத மாதிரி ஆயிடுவேன் அப்படி நீங்க நினைச்சிட்டீங்கன்னா ஓகே, you can watch movie. But if you ask that question and think like, will this help me in what I wanted to be down the line in my career or in my ambition இருக்கா பாத்தீங்கன்னா நோன் தான் வரும். That's an entertainment. Entertainment has to have a limit. You need not always stick to it. So that's what my take is. Even I have my restrictions, even at this age. It's not about teens. It's like everybody has to have the self-control, irrespective of ages. That's important.
That's good. So, Hari, Varshan, Kiran, I really appreciate you for asking questions. Next question in line is from Nagran, 9th grader from the year. Yes. Sure. Done.
Thank you. I like that.
We'll go. He's got all the time. Nagran?
So my question is, when you grew up, the whole, not only with regard to technology, but the whole situation, the surrounding itself was very different to compare to how, let's say, now Pranav or any of us are growing up right now. And I believe as a person who is elder than us, you have that knowledge of comparing between those two, because we don't know how life was back then, sir, and we don't know how life is going to be in another 10 years, sir. But when you were, let's say, growing up, you would have some sort of experiences and some sort of a certain sort of events that happened to you, sir, which we could not have possibly, let's say, accessed, sir. So what is some sort of things which you feel like we would benefit from your time, that is your teenagers, and something that you would benefit in your teenagers from what we are using now?
Like I might overlap the questions which others asked. Like to what you guys would have got benefited from my age when I was teenage is like
Kind of a time travel question these people ask.
Yes.
Taking them back into the...
what you guys miss. I would say like this: what you guys miss now.
That's asking, right? What do you guys miss?
What you guys miss now when I was in your age, it's the wow factor. Okay, you guys see when I never saw a phone without a wire. Okay, even a wired phone was like wow, and then I was like diving back. And then even when I grown up a little bit, there was a big phone without a wire. I was like, how did this happen? And then it turned out to be a smaller phone. No cap, somebody left. No?
Somebody shut me. You can please.
Okay. Then I saw a 111. I don't know if you guys are known of 111 or Nokia or no, right? Nobody knows that. Okay. That's how you guys missed it. See, then we saw a touch phone, and then the flip phone. We saw the evolution of whatever you guys, everybody has this right nowadays. There is nobody without a phone. You all see is the one phone, but what I saw is evolution of that. I'm so glad that in our age we saw the evolution of technology. See, everything has a breakthrough. எப்படின்னா ஒரு டெக்னாலஜி வந்து வளர்ந்துட்டே வரும். ஒரு இடத்துல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பயங்கரமாக பீக் ஆகும், அப்புறம் அப்படியே போகும், ஒரு இடத்துல பயங்கரமாக பீக் ஆகும். நான் வந்து அந்த பிரேக் த்ரூ ஆனப்போ ஐ எம் கிளாட் தட் ஐ நியூ இட், ஐ லிவ்ட் இட். I lived a life without a phone. Now if you just think of how can I live a life without a phone?